We live. Hold on, we're gonna go live on Facebook too. Facebook and YouTube. All right. Hey y'all, what's up? If you see me looking one way and then another, I am on live. I'm live on YouTube here and Facebook here. So I'm gonna be looking both ways for a little while. But hey y'all, what's up? You are tuned in to another episode of Rumorville TV. Get on in here and sit down, child. Act like you got a little sense. Now, if this is your first time joining us, go ahead and smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. It's very much free. Very much free. If you are returning, hey child, let's get on in here and let's get into some shit. So you see the title of the video, The Problem with Ye. And we call him Ye because per the Drink Champs interview, he said that's his name. He said he legally changed his name to Ye. He is no longer Kanye. So we are talking about the rapper formerly known as Kanye West. Now, we should all be aware that Kanye suffers from some mental health illnesses, right? We're all aware of that. The problem with Kanye is not that he has some mental health, let's say, challenges. The problem with Kanye is not that he has mental health challenges. That's not his problem. The problem with Kanye, to be very honest and very blunt, is Kanye is the problem with Kanye. When you have a mental health illness, your brain is literally sick. So it's your brain that is telling your brain that you're okay, even though it's sick. The problem with Kanye is that he has a sick brain, and then he gets in these situations with people like, I don't know, Candice Owens, who provides very incendiary commentary. And then to someone like Kanye West, who may at a time be in a manic point or position, he then takes that information and sets the internet, Beyonce's internet, on fire. Okay? So let's get into some things. Candice Owens and all her bald-headed wholeness, okay? All of it. She made a documentary called The Greatest Lie Ever Sold. And it is a documentary basically going into the depths of the Black Lives Matter foundation. Not necessarily the movement, but definitely the foundation. I'm not watching that shit because I'm just not watching that shit. I don't fool with her, and I don't support anything that she does. However, there are some things that she has put into Kanye's ear, much like allegedly this that recording of Kim calling Whitney Houston a crackhead, hag, old hag. That video, that voicemail. Yeah, I'm probably thinking that she got that voicemail from Ye. Yeah, because where else would she have gotten that from? Right. So you have this situation where this is going on and she's feeding him this information and he is burning the internet on fire. So Kanye gives certain information that is actually makes sense. Where am I going with this, right? So his information comes in waves. So the top of the wave, he makes perfect sense. He makes sense. But the bottom of the wave is like, what are you talking about? The top of the wave, he says the Democratic Party hasn't done anything really for Black people, but they want our vote. Kamala Harris did all this shucking and jiving, and we ain't seen her since we did it, Joe. She hasn't been a part of anything. Kanye makes sense in that regard. But then he says stuff like, I don't know, George Floyd, the Derek Chauvin's knee wasn't on his neck like that. And that's when you have to say, what the fuck are you talking about, Ye? What are you talking about? We all watched the death of George Floyd on video. We watched it, right? So we know that during that video, Derek Chauvin's knee was most certainly on George Floyd's neck. But because you have someone that is presenting this incendiary response to him, he is enraged with this information that just isn't true. So let's get into the bottom of this. I am not going to, for any reason, hold back. I'm not gonna hold back. If you don't like the seasoning or the cussing, please turn away. This ain't for you. This just ain't the commentary for you, and that's okay. That is all right. I'm not for everybody, and everybody ain't for me. If you are watching on Facebook, you won't be able to see the video that I'm about to play, but this is from Candice Owens' podcast. This is under fair use. This is for YouTube. I'm saying fair use. You'll be able to hear but not see. If you want to see it, you'll have to join me on YouTube. This is my YouTube channel, which is Room Reveal TV. You can join me there and you can watch what I'm about to play. Or you can just listen in. Entirely up to you. But while you're here, like the video on either platform. If you're on Facebook, send me some stars. I heard Facebook was sending out stars to folks. Send me some stars. I like stars. And if you are on YouTube, like this video, share. If you ain't no selfish bitch, share my videos, okay? All right. Let's get into some shit. Let's get into it.
Basically was giving a critique of a documentary, a positive one, a review, if you will, and he told the truth about the levels of fentanyl that were found in George Floyd's autopsy.
Let's get into that. So, according to Candice Owens, she's saying that Kanye was accurate in what he said on the Drink Champs interview regarding George Floyd's murder. Now, here's the thing. On the Drink Champs interview, Kanye didn't actually present any facts from the documentary. What he said was that wasn't his manner of death. He didn't actually present any real truthful information. Zero facts, actually. And he actually insinuated that the police, he didn't say anybody specifically. What he said was they hit him with the fentanyl, is what he said. But according to Candice, in her documentary, she correlates the fact that the police actually found a chewed up fentanyl pill that had George Floyd's DNA on the pill and also was fentanyl. They found that in the police car. So actually, Kanye didn't do anything but cause more chaos, because typically that's what happens when you are talking to someone who is conflicted within themselves. They create chaos. So that made absolutely no fucking sense. So now we're going to go into, okay, so George Floyd's daughter, and the mother of his daughter are suing. Well, they sent out cease and desist to Kanye West. They want to sue Kanye West for $250 million for the incendiary things that he said on Drink Champs, right? Candice Owens brings up the fact that Kanye gave their family $2 million when George Floyd died. Yes, he gave their family $2 million, but that makes, they considered him a family friend. So that makes this situation even more hurtful, because not only did you give them $2 million, not only were you a friend to the family, but on top of that, nigga, now you saying that he died from an overdose, when that's just simply not true. It's no way that it's true. And ain't nobody gonna make me believe that it's true. Especially when not only are court documents saying that that's not true, but you have the chief medical examiner who not only completed one autopsy, but another medical examiner that completed a totally separate autopsy that also says the same thing, that the manner of death was not an overdose. Now, to Candice Owens' point, a lethal dose of fentanyl is considered 2 nanograms. For the common person, me or you, maybe 2 milligrams. At the time of George Floyd's death, he had 11 nanograms of fentanyl in his system. That can't be argued. But that was not what killed him. So that would be the equivalent of someone getting stabbed. You or I get stabbed, and then someone in the head. What's the manner of death? It's not the stabbing. You could have gotten stabbed in your heart, but if your heart was still technically beating, that wasn't what killed you. That's not your manner of death. See what I'm saying? Okay. So let's talk about the foolishness. We're going to get into, this is why the problem with Ye is not just that he's mentally ill. The problem with Ye is that you put people like Candice Owens behind him, and now you have a train wreck that everybody wants to just watch. Nobody wants to actually stop or try to help once it crashes. We're just all watching because what the fuck? It's a train wreck. So, again, Facebook, if you're watching, you are going to have to either come to my YouTube channel or you're just going to be listening. But this is from the trial, and this is the medical examiner. His name is Dr. Andrew Baker. He's the chief medical examiner in Minneapolis, and this is what he had to say.
Presented that awful testimony.
Do you recall describing the level of fentanyl as a fatal level of fentanyl?
I recall describing it in other circumstances. It would be a fatal level, yes, in other circumstances. Had Mr. Floyd been home alone in his locked residence with no evidence of trauma, and the only autopsy finding was that fentanyl level, then yes, I would certify his death as due to fentanyl toxicity.
So, what he just said was, if George Floyd had been at home, if he had died at home by himself with no other signs of trauma, then yes, we would consider his manner of death an overdose. How did you take that and turn it into he had fentanyl in his system and that's how he died? That is not what that man said, and it's no way that you're gonna make it seem like that's what he said, because that ain't what he said. Now there are also in this podcast episode of Candice Owens, she also shows George Floyd in the car before he got put to the ground. When he's in the car and Derek Chauvin's hands are seen around his neck as if he's strangling him. Now, I can't show it, of course. You know, I ain't fooling with Mark Zuckerberg. I don't want no beef. What 2360 be saying? I don't want no smoke with the Mark or the Zuckerberg. Or with YouTube, the U or the tube. Okay. So I'm not going to show those things, but you can certainly watch this episode. But he was saying, I can't breathe before he actually got put to the ground. But if you go back, the footage is so hard to watch, but because we know the outcome. But if you go back and look at that footage, Derek Chauvin was choking him. He was literally being strangled. So, of course he couldn't breathe. He was being strangled. Once he's on the ground, this is where what Kanye West is saying plays a major part. When he's on the ground and we see Derek Chauvin's knee on his neck, throughout that video, because there's a lot of movement going on in that video back and forth, because there's a lot of movement, Derek Chauvin's knee at some points in the video are not actually on George Floyd's neck. They're not on his neck. His knee is not on George Floyd's neck the entire video. His knee is sometimes on his shoulder blade, But at the point when we can tell that there's no longer life in George Floyd's body, when the ambulance was pulled up and they have the stretcher right there, Derek Chauvin's knee is most certainly on George Floyd's neck. And we can tell that there is no more life. Okay? He's no longer moving. He's not breathing. Like, you can see it. You can see his body, his facial expressions in that video. So it is very much incendiary. It is very much hurtful. It is very much malicious to say anything other than the truth. So the problem with Ye is not that he's crazy. The problem with Ye is that you put people in his ear like Candice Owens, or people who have this anti-Semitic speech or feelings. You put him in a room with them, and suddenly he's an amplifier, because that's who he is without any other additions. He is an influencer. And that's not taken away from him. I could never take away from that. Is he a genius? That's questionable. Is he an asshole? Absolutely. I will never forget when he did Punk'd, and Ashton Kutcher was saying I think he was recording. Kanye West was recording the video for Jesus Walks, I think, and Ashton Kutcher was punking him, and Ashton Kutcher was pretending like the feds or something. They were confiscating his footage, like the shots that he had shot. And Kanye West was literally marching in a circle around Ashton Kutcher, saying, "We can walk wherever we want. I will never forget that shit. That lives in my mind rent free, because that was the moment that I realized something wrong with this nigga." And the problem with Ye is that he don't realize that the people that are lighting this fire behind him don't wish him well. They have zero. Candice Owens does not care that Kanye West is being played out in the media, to his family, to his children, that he's going down bad. She does not care. She doesn't care that his mom was arrested when he was 6 years old, when she was 6 years old, because she was with her family, and her family was against race, like the racist riots and stuff in Chicago. She don't care about that. She does not care. Doesn't care. And Kanye West is too far gone to realize that this app that he is potentially talking about buying from her, the FBI is watching this app because of the rhetoric that she is providing and giving a platform. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. And I don't know, like, I get it that she's, older, but when she was in high school, she had an issue with the kids at her school because they was calling her racial names. And she sued the school. I'm sorry, she sued the city. Guess who helped her win that lawsuit? The NAACP. Oh, the same culture that you don't want to be a part of. Mm-hmm. We was the ones backing you. We had your back. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what happened between then and now, but I'm over it. And I'm sick of Candice Owens, and I'm sick of people gaslighting the world. Do I disagree with what she was saying as far as about Black Lives Matter? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. She raises a great point with Black Lives Matter, because for them to have raised almost $100 million, y'all could at least help Dr. Umar with the school or something. Umar should have the school running by now for $100 million. I'm confused. Where the money? And I don't disagree with her on a lot of things, because Black people, we in trouble. We know more about Nicki Minaj being a mean girl to Lotto and all the other rap girls. We know more about that than we know about who's running for the midterm elections. We don't know. Have no idea. All we know is We're going to vote Democrat because our mamas voted Democrat. Because Republicans are racist or whatever. But we know more about Lil Baby talking junk about Saweetie and Quavo than we know about what's going on in politics. We know more about that than we know about the inflation rates or about how the energy crisis that's happening in Europe that might be happening here. We know way more about everything else. Jason Lee and Armand Wiggins, we know all about that. We can tell you that like we quote in scripture, but we can't tell you nothing about politics or how politics actually work, or we don't know. So it's absolutely not that we are stupid. It's just that we are ignorant and we are niggas. We love a good laugh and we love foolishness and we love drama. And we are watching this Kanye West, Candice Owens train wreck, and no one wants to step in the way. Everybody is giving Kanye a platform. He has a platform to say all the wild and all the incendiary, wild, crazy, outlandish, off the wall shit that he can say. But no one is willing to have the tough conversation with Kanye or Candice Owens. And that's a problem because yes, sometimes it can be right message, wrong messenger, but the message, sometimes you gotta eat the meat and spit out the bones. And that's kind of where I'm at with Candice Owens and both Kanye West. I am eating the meat and spitting out the bones. Black Lives Matter that's a huge problem. Black people, we have a problem. We don't have the leadership to, step in and handle situations like Black Lives Matter, because the idea of Black Lives Matter is amazing. We need a Black Lives Matter sort of idea where we have leadership, where we like what Ice Cube, was trying to do with the contract. We need some sort of contract or some sort of leader to lead us, quote unquote. But it has to be somebody with integrity. See, all the leaders that we had, they murdered them. Yeah. Fred Hampton, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all these leaders, they're gone. And the ones that we have now, they're trash. I'm going to just say it. Umar, trash. That school that he's been talking about for the past however long, yeah. Somebody donated the school to him. He paid $10, and I think it's like a donation fee or whatever. He got the school for free. All he has to do is replace the HVAC system. It's like $500,000. He's raised millions. Where's the school? But see, that's what I'm saying. Shit like that. Our leaders, the leaders that are coming up now, have no integrity because they don't actually want to be the leader. They don't actually have a plan or want to do what's necessary. They want to be seen. They want money. They don't actually want to do what's necessary for Black people. And I don't think we even know. We're so divided at this point. We don't even know. We have from the levels of Sukiana, who spelled surrogate as Sarah Get. And then we have the Candice Owens. So we're on two different ends of the totem pole. So this gnat is about to kill me. So how do we get past this? I don't know. I don't have no answers. I'm just telling you. The problem with Kanye West is the people that he puts around him. He needs his handler back. I don't know if that's Kim or not, but something is wrong. And Candice Owens, I hope George Floyd's family sues her too. She need to be. It's another $250 million out there. She need to. They need to sue her for it. That's how I feel. But I suggest you don't agree with me. Do your own research and look at the Candice Owens documentary and come up with your own conclusions. That's what I suggest. Stop being sheep. Do your own research. Find the answers for yourself. They're probably in a book, so that we're clear. Not going to be on the internet. Beyonce's internet is not going to have the answers. It's going to be in a book. I suggest you go read and find out. Please, go fuck around and find out. If you like my commentary, smash the hell out that like button. Send me some stars on Facebook. Share my videos on YouTube and Facebook. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.